behind the scenes with future country rock blues kings and queens. Discover them first with Paul Mash TV. Paul Mash TV.
Well, hello everybody, it's Paul Mash TV time again. Thank you for joining us. We have another great interview coming up in just a moment or two. But before we get into that, as always, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. And anytime we have a new interview, you'll be notified and you can check that out. And check out the comment section and leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you there. And we'd love to hear from you on Facebook too. Just go to facebook.com/Paul Mash TV, where you can inbox us, like the page, comment on everything you see, and also send us an email, paulmashtv, all one word, at gmail.com. And that email is good if you're a fan, or if you're just an artist or a band wanting to get on the show. You can use that either way, and we'd love to hear from you, and we'll see what we can work out. And we're going to have all that information we just said at the closing credits at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. In just a moment, we got Hvley J from Sacramento, California, and another great artist, and I think you're going to agree by the end of the show, so we'll get to that in a minute, but don't go away because it's Click Jam time, and we'll be right back. Don't go away.
We got history, got me feeling the nostalgia when you look at me, thinking about what could.
All right, it's interview time as promised, and with us from Sacramento, California, we have Hvley J. Thanks for joining us, Hvley.
Thank you for having me on your show. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. We're glad to have you here today. As far as the music goes, tell us a little bit how it all started for you. I mean, everybody has their own story and how they got started as being an artist. We'd love to hear your story on it.
So I've been doing music for a while, but I took a really long break. I'm more of a writer. When I first started doing music, it was more about just writing. And then I took a leap of faith, didn't really know what I was doing at the time, and released an album. I literally did not know what I was doing, but it's decent. It's not like it's not horrible, but it's not like my new project. My new project, I feel like, is on a whole nother level. And I'm a lot older now than I was when I first started doing music. So when I first started doing music, I had a lot of friends that were producers and in the industry, and going to the studio and watching other artists write and create, I just fell in love with that. And I was like, oh my God, I want to try and do it. So then I started writing lyrics, and then would just save the lyrics. And then I finally took that step to actually record, which is a whole nother art form compared to my art with, like my fine art with painting or designing, completely different. I love every type of art. I'm a multifaceted, I don't know if that's the right word to say, but like a multifaceted kind of artist where I do painting, sculptures, designing, writing, recording. I like the challenge. I think I get bored with one medium, and then I'm like, okay, what's next? Let's try something new.
Yeah, and it's good to be multi-talented like you are. So I guess.
Yeah.
As far as that goes, what were some of the artists that you grew up with in the mainstream world, that is, that helped motivate you in your music process? I mean, I'm sure there's a few names that come out in your mind.
I really love the 90s era with music. I just feel like that time period, the artists would write about things that were actually, significant, where, there was depth to the lyrics. And I appreciate that. There are artists that have that aspect in their music nowadays, but there's a lot more of a fad, I guess you would call it, where people just write lyrics about like partying or like doing drugs and things that are derogatory. And I mean, I guess for some people that's totally fine, and I like some of these songs. I don't necessarily like their lyrics, but I like the 90s era, just because it had more depth and you could relate to it, and it's a whole vibe. So I loved Aaliyah. Aaliyah was one of my all-time favorite singers. Who else? I love Tupac. I love Lauryn Hill. Her music is awesome. Sade. I always say her name wrong. Sade. I love her music. It's just very like soothing. And when I was in art, like in high school in art class, we would always listen to Sade, and it would just like make things like very calm, and it's easy to create to that type of music. So that's the type of music I grew up on. Or like 112. I loved 112. Bobby Valentino, just a very down tempo kind of vibe where it's just soothing and just, lets your creativity flow.
Okay. Yeah, there were a lot of good, obviously, artists back in the 90s, even bands like when the alternative scene first started, like with Nirvana and all that.
Yeah.
There were a lot of good bands there, so I can understand that you thought that that would be a good, influence for you. So, well, tell everybody how we can find out about your music. I mean, is it all on the streaming platform? Do you have any physical copies? Maybe not, but if you do, you can volunteer that as well.
It's all digital. I released it during COVID, pretty much. I mean, I was earlier this year. So I didn't do any hard copies just because I didn't really know what was going to happen. Now it seems like things are just almost pretty much open. So, but it's on every platform. It's on SoundCloud, on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, pretty much everything. The album is called Work of Art, and it's with me. But the way I spelled my music name was a little different than my art name, just because there was already a Hvley Jane that does music. And so I didn't want things to get confusing. So, and it's actually easier to search me now that I spelled my name like this, which is good for, people when they're trying to look for my music. So the way I spelled my artist name is Hvley J, and it's H with instead of an A, it's a V upside down. So it looks kind of like an upside down A. So it's Hvley and then J. So that's my artist name, Hvley J. And then it's a collaboration album. So the other artist on the album is Class, and it's spelled CLA $. So he's an R&B singer. So we did a joint project, and it's pretty awesome. I really like all the songs on the project. I also released a single with him called Vacation that I released pre-album release. So it was just like a little teaser to amp things up for the album.
Okay. Well, everybody get out there again. Hvley Jane's music. I know she'd love you for that. And speaking of that song you just mentioned, that's the video we're going to be showing in a minute, Vacation. Is there a story behind that? We'd love to hear it.
So the Vacation song is just supposed to represent that the person that you're, with, that you're in a relationship with, or just getting to know that you like really care about, that you don't actually have to be on a vacation to enjoy that person. Like you can just be with that person and it feels like you're on a vacation. So it's just, letting people know that you don't always have to be like in a destination to feel happy. So that was the meaning behind that song. So it's R&B. It has a little bit of rap in the song and in the album project. It's a mix between rap and R&B.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good story. And of course, I heard the song and I loved it, and I know everyone out there is going to love that too. And we'll get to that in just a minute. But Hvley, we thank you very much for coming on the show. That's about all the time we have, but we'd love to have you back if you ever want to plug anything new for us.
Yes, that would be amazing. Thank you so much for having me today.
Okay, here's Vacation by Hvley Jane right here on Paul Mash TV, so don't go away. We'll be right back.
Pressure hit the mat, turn it into diamond.
Okay. Hey,
Baby, I'm trying to get away. Maybe step out and have that dinner date. Fan base go crazy, but you in first place. I feel like you win if we was in a race. About time we hit the streets like a renegade. Never checking for my chicken cause she been paid. It was love at first sight, yeah, you been babe. I think you sexier than ever cause you self-made. I think it's time, baby, for a vacay. Sex good, you keep me bustin' like an AK. Make a nigga drop a bag, private island stay. Vice grip on that dick, call it Haley J. Ay, I want a vacation, here like a staycation. Ay, I don't have to go nowhere, I wanna be with you, baby.
I wanna be with you, baby. You're like a staycation, my vacation. I don't have to go nowhere. Pack your bags, let's go. It don't matter where we go. Let's hit the road, Daddy. Cause your heart is my home, and I mean that from my soul. Daddy, dressed down in designer. Love it when you match me, you make me so happy. Your head between my legs, swimming in my sea. Sex on the beach, ride you like a jet ski. Vacation, back shots keep you coming, that's a staycation. I know you said that, but where the bed at? Privacy on an island, no need for road maps. Let's take a trip to Ibiza. I'll wear that sundress that I know you like. Say I'm better than the rest, for sure you right. I'm better than the rest, I know I'm right.
Ay, I want a vacation, here like a staycation. Ay, I don't have to go nowhere, I wanna be with you, baby.
I wanna be with you, baby. You're like a staycation, my vacation. I don't have to go nowhere.
Pressure hit the mat, turn it into diamond.